Welcome to the joy of post-production. We could say cutting, coloring, compositing. Today we're doing more of the compositing. Primarily on this channel we do color grading, but today, in response to Ghostbusters Day, where I realized that I am 40 years old this year, golly, we've been making Proton streams. So there's two previous videos. You can probably link to them in the description. There's some footage, I think, available at this point now for you to download and follow along if you're working in Fusion. But if you follow those two videos, you should have something that looks like this. One main stream going out to get a ghost, and two coming back to the gun. It's all trapped, it's all vibrant. And it also has some animation popping in there as well when we think about power up and all the imagination that goes in. So we have that, and now we're just going to do a couple things to make it look nice. So yeah, it sometimes does that. It's just because when it renders, I haven't had an issue with the final render. I know that sometimes it gets a little jumpy on the initial, where the streams aren't exactly where you want them, but it's just trying so hard to calculate 3 randomized lightning bolts. So we're going to kind of just sit it there. We're going to make a little space in our node tree here, kind of keep things organized, and we're going to just, put in displace. Because every good project needs displace and fast noise. If you don't have displace and fast noise in your project, you probably did it wrong. Not gonna lie. They do magical things, and magical things are what we want. We're just gonna tweak some settings just out of the gate so we see something happening. And we're gonna just bring up just our blue stream so we can see that one working. Oh, well, let's just bring over fast noise. So that's what fast noise looks like. It's no fun. We're going to sieve that randomly. We're going to pop that sieve right up. We're going to give it a lot more detail. So pretty much what we're trying to do is make a bit of a difference between the black and the white. Because wherever the smoke of the fast noise is not, it's going to cause the displace to do ribbly-dibbly things. And so we're working that X and Y axis, X and Y axis, where we kind of broke it down. We have our scale, and now we can go to displace and kind of see exactly what is going on when we just kind of slam the sliders around. Whoa. We go from, this is stock, this is what we made in the previous video, and this is where we're going, kind of all over the place. And so now it's kind of just find that happy place, find what works, what looks good. There's so many settings, like do you want it to be opposite land and inverted? You can do all kinds of fun things, but it's just kind of finding how much variation do I want, and then going back to our displays, and you can kind of tweak that refraction. You can kind of see how much is it refracting and how much, where is it going, and things like that. And we can even tweak. That doesn't ever do anything. Spread. So it kind of smooths it out a little bit. Gives it just a little butter, a little love. We don't want it to be crazy. It's kind of more like a blur. You can see how it's yeah. Where is it at? The blue stream, we're also going to just pop down. There's a setting in here as well under controls at the bottom. I want to say it's styling. Yeah, I want to just add a little blur. I want to drop the opacity just a little bit. We don't want it to be so crispy. And yeah, we can even break the scale. And kind of go like this. It's kind of getting all over the place. It's kind of electrifying, kind of what you'd expect. Here's the thing about proton lens. I probably said this in the previous video. Nobody's ever seen one before. We have them. We have the references for what were made in the movies, but when you go to the cartoons, it's all over the place. Sometimes they're huge sine curves that looks like a snake that go from floor to ceiling, and there's like a space of like 3 feet, and it's shooting across, and it's going up and down in amplitude across the board. But it's always usually one main stream and 2 minor streams. And so as long as you get that, from there it's just styling. I mean, in the last movie, she added bronze, was it, to the Proton Pack, and it ended up making the stream greenish. So, yeah. I guess electricity looks differently when you use different metals. But it's an unlicensed nuclear accelerator. It doesn't need to be movie accurate. You can go for movie accurate, and that's cool, but you gotta remember the Ghostbusters also live in different dimensions. There's different, the original script was a multiverse. Out of the gate, not something that was established and built for years. So we have our displays, we have our fast noise. I'm kind of liking where this is at. What we're going to do with this display is we're not going to make an instance of it, we're going to make just a duplicate. I don't want it to be tied, I want to be able to control it separately. And like say, just put an offset and go exactly the opposite. So whatever I did in the other one, I think there's a way you could do that. But I kind of just like being able to go, alright, we're working one stream, working the other. We're going to use the same fast noise though. Just makes life easier, because here's the problem we face. When we have that displace, and when we are refracting it, and you can see it goes up and down, if we do add in some X refraction, X offset, we have some issues where it's not lining up on the tip of the gun anymore. It moves it up and down, moves it left and right when it's offset and refracted. And the thing we can do to fix that is we want it to work itself back to a central point. I don't want that there. I want this one here. And we're just going to tie that there. And go back to we're going to go back to, everything's gone. We're going to take our polygon and we're going to just draw. We want our streams to be where they're supposed to be, the tips, and we want them to be all over the place everywhere else. So we're just going to pretty much draw a box and say, do goofy things here. That's weird. Why is it only doing it to the one? It should be doing it to the both. Oh, is it doing that thing where it's unhappy at me? Next one. Oh yeah, because I dragged too many polygons. So yeah, now we have our stream, and it looks kind of broken and janky, but that's okay because fast noise is fast noise for a reason. All we have to do is take that little polygon box that we had and soften it, and now it blends it together. And we can kind of, dress it up a notch, but it will always keep our line, and it will always keep the same start point and finish point. And we can go crazy, we can get it close, we can just keep getting it close, we can get it close, we can do it. But it keeps it where we're going to the same points. And that was the whole point of, in that other video, of tying everything together, was to make it work and make it be fun, fancy, and free. But now we're here, and now we got jiggle jiggles all over the place. And that is your proton stream. We can go, let's make sure that this is removed. We don't need it moving around. Polygon, polygon. And that, in a nutshell, is making your proton streams. Now the cool thing is we did all this work it's all done. We should feel joy and happiness, but if you're like me, you also know we made a mess. We get cleaned up. Let's just give it an underlay, just to make life easier. So we can select it, Command Option, just like that. You call it Proton Streams. Yay! Now we're going to be like that, and look at now it's nice and organized. Oops. Now it's nice and organized. There we go. Boom. So we have our nothing goes to our main stream. Our blue stream has a display. So they jiggle, 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 and they work their magic, and they all leave this box as an electrified, unlicensed nuclear regulator. We can put that there and just make it look nice. This is kind of cathartic for me. I like to be able to see what I'm doing. So yeah, that is that note tree right there. That is what we did. Made it pretty. Made it very pretty. But here's the problem. We have this whole other shot we haven't even dealt with. Oh my goodness, we gotta rebuild all of that again to make this other shot sing, because there's no proton stream there. But we did all that work. It's all there. We're just going to go back over here. We're going to copy paste the Control C. We're going to look at it. It looks fine. It's what we want it to be. We're going to go back over this shot and we're going to say boop. And now we have rebuilt up. We need a nothing node from here. We need these transforms, and we need to merge and a merge. We'll take that trunk, Control C, and we'll come back over here and boop. And we're going to pump our main footage into that transform, and that transform is going to go back out to this guy right here. And we have this floating merge here, and our footage is just doing its thing. The ghost is being blasted. We're just going to go bloop, bloop, bloop. And that's not cool. That's not exactly what we're going for or wanting, right? Because we don't have. But the cool thing is, remember, we set up our start points and our finish points to be exactly the same between the three streams. So all we have to do is fix one of them. So let's start with the stop position. That is, you can see that it's still doing our left to right and going across. So our start to our finish position is here. We're just going to take that and drag that over that open gaping hole of the mouth of that guy. And everything, once it thinks about it, should update to make electricity be there. Let's put this here so you guys can see what we're doing. That blue strand is tied to it. And then our start position, we go back to our main stream. And we go, our start position in the previous one was tied to a tracker and an offset position. And we don't really need all of that. We just need it to be wherever that is, which is up there for some reason. And we're going to take that and we're going to just drag that off frame because she's standing off frame and the camera angle is coming around. And the cool thing is we could take this, we could do, I hesitate to do it just because it does get goofy. Perturb. It's one of those modifiers, I really don't know what it does. I really just want it to go up and down. I'm not sure how much I want it to go up and down. Sometimes it goes up and down and it is crazy. Way more than you would want it to do. And I just want it to have I don't want it to be crazy, so just jump around in your shot and go, alright, it didn't jump too much. It's not crazy. Sometimes you'll set up perturb and it's like, whoa, that is not at all what I want. But we're missing one other thing. We have our fast noise is not lined up with our footage because we have that polygon mask, and that's not exactly where we want it. So we don't really have a start point. We can kind of just take this and go and just remap this like that. And now we have our streams kind of going like that. And yeah, some frames aren't going to be like, if you took a still shot, it's not going to be as perfect as you'd like. In terms of alignment, but that's okay. You can go tweak settings if you want. The thing is, when we watch it back at full speed, you're gonna be like, what? And you have the sound and everything else going with it, and it's gonna be magical, and it's gonna remind you of your childhood. I don't know. But yeah, very simple. That's all we had to do to make it be 3 onto 2 different shots. So just imagine if you had another shot, just copy paste it in, adjust the start points, make sure your fast noise is good, and you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me this morning as we made Proton streams and realized how old we are. There's been 2 other previous videos that got us to this point. There's links in the description to the full short film that I worked on where I made these Proton streams. And if you click the box here, if it's been released, if it's not been released, you're just looking at an empty space. But once it's been released, according to YouTube, the next video will be right here, which is how do we color grade this footage? Because Proton streams, I mean, it looks cool, but does it fit with the overall vibe of the entire short film? The Proton streams aren't in all of it. And this is just stock transformed back to Rec 709. We're going to color it. And that's in the next video, or next couple videos. Hope you enjoy. But yeah, that should be there by now, and you can click it. Let me know if you clicked it. Put something in the comments. Like, subscribe. I'm going to drink my coffee and stare at you until you click that button. But yeah. Oh, alright, I looked away. Until next time, hope you enjoy your 40th year of Ghostbusters. I sure am. Now I get to stop recording everything, and I think it did.